Surrender, Chapter 12, Consequences. Hopefully you all enjoy. Now, playing as Levy, you find yourself relaxing in the swaying of the yacht, in the full lull of her body against yours. I can't believe that actually just happened, and it felt so sweet. The yacht comes to a sudden halt, just as that word spikes through you. Sweet, when have I ever liked... That was sweet. What was that? The yacht is talking. We're back. Does that mean the party's over? I can safely say that was the best yacht party I've ever had. Then again, it's the only one I've ever been to. You close your eyes against the sleepy side of her. A party like this is just the start of what you could show her. We've been in here longer than I thought. Is that bad? You shake your head and do your best to school your expression. You can't let her see how rattled you are. You can help her up, and you're careful to keep her physical contact to a minimum. It seems silly now that you've already broken all the rules, but it's the only way you can maintain control. Anderson always gets a day off after a big event like this, so I'll drive you back. Are you sure? I can always call a ride share. I'd rather see you safely home. It's the least I can do. Thanks. I'd like that. The guests are all gone as you lead her across the deck and on down the gangway in the early morning light. Anderson has left the car in the usual spot. You open the passenger side door and help her into her seat. Buckle her in. You lean in and draw the seatbelt across her lap. She sits perfectly still while you click it in place. Not even Anderson offered to buckle me in. Good. He's not allowed to touch. Chicago is quiet this time in the morning. You're painfully aware of her seated next to you, trying not to push you too far. Damn it, I'm doing it again. I'm taking my issues out on her, making her pay for my weakness. You turn onto the street in front of her apartment. Once again, you're acting like a complete ass, and once again, she's doing her best to keep you happy. Wait, Ella, don't get out yet. Is something wrong? Yes, me. You take a deep breath and turn to face her, determined to do this next part right. It's my job to make sure she's safe and comfortable after the night we just had. Lavish her with the care and attention she needs. You pull the car into the nearest parking spot and switch ignition off. What are you doing? I'm coming up with you. And before you argue, you don't have a say in the matter. It's my duty to take care of you. You pull open her door and help her out of the car, and then walk her into the building. Is this something all doms do? It's something all doms should do, especially after a session as intense as ours. Intense? Do you mean physically or emotionally? Both. It's not as simple as one or the other. The whole point of it is that it taps into every part of you. I think I get what you mean. I feel emotionally exhausted. Good, but exhausted. She flashes you a quick, coy grin. I also hurt in places I didn't even know existed. You guide her in the elevator and up to her penthouse. It's been a while since you were last in here, and then you're struck by how all the little details make it feel like home. I like what you've done with the place. I didn't want to make any big changes, and you put your hands on her shoulders, waiting for her gaze to meet yours. You don't have to explain yourself to me. I wanted you to make yourself at home. Now, let's get you into a nice, hot bubble bath. She follows you into the bathroom and watches as you start to fill the huge tub with jasmine-scented bubbles. I've never had anyone draw me a bath before. You were very good tonight. You deserve it. She glances back through the doorway to the bedroom. Are you sure I shouldn't go to bed? It's been a long night. Entice her. You test the temperature with your fingertips, scooping up a handful of bubbles. You lift it to your lips and blow. Be a good girl and get in for me. I won't sleep tonight unless I know you've been taken care of. She doesn't look as though she believes you, but she begins unzipping her dress. If you insist, it does look awfully nice. You help her into the tub, mesmerized by the elegance of her bare body as it disappears under the billowing cloud of soap. Okay, I'm covered in bubbles. Now what? Now you relax, and we have a little talk. What do you know about the sub-drop? She wrinkles her nose and sinks deeper into the water. I'm guessing it has something to do with how deflated I feel? You nod and reach for one of the scented bottles on the edge of the tub. Pour into your hand. Yeah, you don't want to, like, the whole point is not to break a person, right? You want to treat them... that's complicated. You want to treat them right, though. You grab Ella's ankle and gently tug her until her long, silky leg hangs over the edge. The sub-drop is a proven psychological phenomenon, a sort of epinephrine decline that can leave you feeling depressed and anxious if you're not careful. Well, there's a word that YouTube's gonna hate saying. Is that why you're being so sweet to me? Seriously, they don't like that word on YouTube, by the way. Partially, yes. You begin rubbing her leg in long, slick strokes with massage oil. She moans and stretches her calf under your touch. Most subs experience a sub-drop in some form or another. How long does it last? It depends. So it's important to be aware of how you come down from the encounter, especially if you feel yourself spiraling out. If you keep massaging all the way up to my thigh, I think I'll recover from it. You chuckle, but keep your hands below the knee. As long as you take care of yourself and listen to your body, you should be able to avoid crashing too hard. She sits up, sloshing scented water over the edge of the tub. Do Doms experience it too? It's different for Doms. Some experience a top drop, but it tends to have less to do with exhaustion and more to do with guilt. Yep. Do you feel guilt about what we did? Your stomach clenches tightly, but you shake your head. The guilt you feel isn't about your session. It's that you let yourself get involved in her life at all. What happened between us was inevitable. The air feels thick with everything that's unspoken between you, but you know from experience how important it is not to make any major decisions in the heady aftermath. A bubble bath is a nice start, but you should also get plenty of fluids and lots of rest. Mentioning rest causes her to break out in a sleepy yawn. I feel like I could sleep for days. And then that's exactly what you should do. You unplug the tub, grab the biggest, fluffiest towel you can find, and hold it up and gesture for her to get out. Don't be surprised if you feel tender tomorrow. If you've got bruises, they could take a few days to heal. I like the idea of seeing reminders. You suck in a sharp breath and lead her to the bedroom. I won't need any reminders to remember the sound of your screaming my name. Yeah, it's kind of something that resounds with you. Slips into her pajamas as you pull back her comforter and fluff her pillow. I have no idea you could be so domestic, Levy. You wait until she's comfortably tucked in before you respond. I'm a lot of things you don't know about yet. Partially to prevent her from saying more, and partially because you can't resist, you drop your mouth to hers for a kiss. You recognize it was a mistake the moment she parts her lips with a soft sigh and kisses you back. You're in for a penny and for a pound. You lean in as her arms wind around your neck, her lips smooth and soft, gentle waves under yours. I've never had a goodnight kiss quite like this before. That's because I've never kissed you goodnight before. She gasps as you take her lower lip between your teeth and tug on it. Her body starts to move under the sheets, the swish of fabric over her body like a symphony. Ella, we shouldn't. I know, but I don't want to crash, Levy. Not yet. You're powerless to resist this plea or the way she nibbles at the edges of your lips. With a low groan of approval, you give her exactly what she wants, capturing her mouth until you're both panting for more. Ella. You can feel her body arching toward yours, her perfect curves begging for your touch. I'm sorry, but I don't have the strength to resist you. You have to be the first to pull away. Groan as you slide your tongue over hers, falling so far into her that you lose track of your surroundings. As your mouth slashes over hers, you let the kiss say all the things you can. I want you, I need you. I won't be satisfied until you're completely mine. The soft, whimpering sounds coming from her throat are starting to make you lose control. She pouts as you step away from the bed and order her to stay in it. I mean, an Ella, sleep is the best thing for you right now. We need some time to process what happened tonight. I know we do, you won't disappear again like last time. It takes all your self-control not to dive into the bed and put a smile back on her face. You lean down and press a soft kiss on her forehead instead. I won't disappear, I promise. I'll call you later this week, once we both had a chance to recover. She nods, and you quietly leave her bedroom. Giving her some space was the right thing to do. So why does it feel so wrong? Yep, you are really falling for her. Half an hour later, you let yourself into the penthouse. The sound of rock music playing and the tinkle of ice in a whiskey glass can only mean one thing. Sloan. Someone's keeping late hours. Remind me to take away your emergency key. This is an emergency. My best friend is an asshole, and I can't decide what to do about it. Sloan offers you a drink, and you take a long sip, your stress starting to ebb as soon as the liquor hits your tongue. So you want to explain what the whole thing was last night? I've seen animals at the zoo act less territorial. Sloan, I owe you an apology. I know I was an ass, there's no excuse. Wait. Did the Levy Thorn just apologize of his own volition? You don't have to be obnoxious about it. I do apologize sometimes. You all but begged me to come out here, Levy, to meet your new protege, to take her under my wing and into my bed. I never said that. You practically threw her into my arms, and like a good friend, I caught her for you. Sloan. Watch what you say. I'm not in the mood to be toyed with. Yeah, well, neither am I. I only been so far before I snap, Levy. Stop acting like you've never seen an emotion before. Look, I get it, I really do. A sub like Ella doesn't come around every day. She's special. Took me 2 minutes to see the potential in that woman, and from the way the other Doms were talking, I'm not the only one. Which other Doms? Doesn't matter. If you aren't careful, someone's gonna swoop in and steal her out from under you. He does have a point. You brush past him, trying to ignore his warning. He shouts after you. If you weren't such a good friend, I'd give it a try myself, a real try this time, with all the expensive gifts and promises of pleasure that come with it. You slam your bedroom door closed, but it doesn't make you feel better. Neither does a cold shower or another glass of whiskey. It's a good thing I have work to distract me for the next few days. Yeah, listen, fam. Been there, done that. It doesn't help. By the end of the week, you know it's time to give her a call. The only problem is you don't know what to say. You pick up the phone for the 100th time, and Anderson steps through the door just before you can dial. Your receptionist wants to know your lunch order. Sushi from the place in West Town or Thai from the South Side? You wave an impatient hand at him. Sushi. No, you know what? Pick for me. Something on your mind, boss? You're not usually this indecisive about lunch, or anything for that matter. It's nothing, forget it. Anderson gives you an odd look before nodding and leaving. You groan and drop your head to your hands. Setting all professional considerations aside, you can't ignore the fact that you're no good for Ella in the long term. That you think. We might have an amazing chemistry together, but we're fundamentally different people. She's everything good in this world. And I'm not. You're doing your best not to imagine all the ways you could corrupt Ella when your phone rings. You pick it up without looking at the name. Ella? Sorry to disappoint, brother. Who's Ella? No one. What do you want, Rhys? Rhys hesitates for a moment before answering. I don't know how much more I can take, Levy, for real. It's getting unbearable around here. Rhys. You only have a few years left of college. We all had to do our time. It gets better once you're out of, from underneath this roof, I promise. That's easy for you to say. You're already out. She sighs. There's a wobble in her voice that makes it sound like she's trying not to cry. I'm not allowed to go to any more protests. Even if we have a permit, Dad says my friends are a bad influence. They can't even come over. Can you believe it? When he had the Ponzi scheme guy over for dinner last night? Hypocrisy is her father's middle name. Anyway, until my trust fund kicks in, I can't afford to leave, but staying here is gonna break me. What am I supposed to do? My advice is... stick it out. Grit your teeth, bear it. That's what I did. Liar, you hightailed it out of here as fast as I could possible. Because I started building my escape pod early. Find your exit strategy, start working towards it. You make it sound so easy. That's because it is. You'd be surprised with having a plan of action can do to boost morale. Since when are you such a wise old man? Are you learning this stuff from your girlfriend? I thought you called to talk about your problems. I did, but then you called me Ella when you answered. What's her last name? I want to look her up. Text from message from Ella. As if on cue, your phone pings with an incoming text from her. Rhys, I have to go. Wait, no, I was just I'll call you later. You hang up without waiting for a response, and then pull up your messages. Hey, you busy? What if I say no? Are you prepared to be punished? I've been ready. Nah, but that's not why I'm texted. I know you asked for time to process, but I have big news. If Sloan went behind my back and talked to Ella, there will be hell to pay. Guess whose speech got picked for LH's next campaign rally? I'm officially a real speechwriter. Nice, congrats. You let out a long breath before mentally berating yourself. Ella would never hurt me over text. She isn't capable of that kind of cruelty. You start to type out your congratulations, but pause. Even an asshole like you knows an event like this deserves more fanfare. She should be celebrated. Maybe a private lunch, just the two of us. Yeah, celebrate with her over lunch. I mean, is it though really an asshole move if you send congrats and then do something later? You know, doesn't that kind of throw them off guard? Nah. Your lips curl into a satisfied smile as you start making plans for lunch. That's fantastic news, and I know just how you're going to celebrate. By working extra hours and obsessing over every comma? Absolutely not. I'm sending Anderson over to pick you up for lunch. You don't have to do that. I want to. If you know it's good for you, you'll get in the car when it arrives. My boss might have something to say about that. I mean, you're not her boss, but you'll do as you're told. I don't care what you have to do, just do it. When I want you, I get you. That's all there is to it. Yes, sir. You finish making arrangements for lunch before you head out. Just because I haven't reached a final decision about Ella doesn't mean we can't enjoy ourselves in the meantime. Soon, you're seated at a table in the middle of a restaurant at the top of one of Chicago's skyscrapers. At the sound of elevator doors sliding open, you glance over to see Ella stepping out with a bewildered look. It's the middle of lunch rush. Where is everyone? Rise to your feet and pull out her chair. I reserve the whole restaurant. Big news like yours deserves a big celebration. I was expecting all this when I texted you. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's very unrealistic. What were you expecting? She flushes happily and stares down at your hands. Nothing, really. I just was so excited I wanted to tell you. Your heart gives a lurch. From the way she's acting, you suspect no one has ever celebrated her successes before. Your pleasure is my pleasure, Ella. Both in and out of the bedroom. Her mouth falls open in soft surprise, lifting your hand, and you call for the waitress to bring you their best champagne. Mr. Thorne, here's the bottle you requested. She hands you the champagne and then leaves. Pop the cork. A toast to you. Lovey, that bottle is more than my paycheck. It's a little extravagant, don't you think? You pour her a glass and offer it to her. Ella, nothing is too extravagant for you. One of these days you'll realize that you're worth everything I've given you, and so much more. In that case, thank you. You wait until she takes a sip of her champagne before bringing your glass to your lips. You're too busy watching her enjoyment at the expensive wine rolls over her tongue. You already placed the order for both your meals, so you settle in your seat and watch as the sunlight plays on her hair. Why are you looking at me like that? Just enjoying the view. She flushes and toys with the stem of her glass. This is nice of you, but I should only have one glass or I'll be too tipsy to work this afternoon. There's a lot to do. Do you have to work over the long weekend? No, but I'll have a ton of editing to do next week. This is a pretty big step. Now that one of my speeches has been picked up, there's a good chance Mr. Hernandez will ask for more. Which of Lewis's rallies is the speech for? The Family First campaign or the criminal justice reform? She looks surprised at your knowledge, so you offer her a wry smile. I have a sister with strong political leanings. She'd kill me if I didn't take an interest in my local elections. I didn't know you had a sister. You hesitate before responding. You're usually very careful to keep your family separate from the rest of your life. Actually, I have several siblings, including some half-siblings. I'm closest to Rhys. I had no idea. Everyone comes from somewhere, even me. Sorry to interrupt. Ella looks as though she'd like to pry deeper in your personal life, so you draw her attention to the plates instead. What do? Offer her the octopus? Offer her the pasta? Octopus, a bit exquisite to, hit somebody with. Try the pasta. It's delicious. As the waitress leaves, you lift a fork up to her lips with an air of command, so she has no choice but to do as you say. Since Lewis's rally will be at the courthouse, I'm guessing it's criminal justice speech. Is that a topic you're interested in? Yeah, it's one of the issues that first drew me to his campaign. When he starts talking about people he's worked with and the lives he's changed, you can just tell, that he really cares and he genuinely believes he can make a difference. You nod, watching as she takes another bite. It's funny. Until I started working on the campaign, it never occurred to me that you can just believe something into being. But Mr. Hernandez does it all the time. And now I'm starting to do the same. You mean about your speeches getting picked? She flushes, but her gaze meets yours. That and other things. Work helped me want more of this world, but the confidence to actually do something about it came from you. Oh? Maybe you haven't noticed, but I feel like I'm been different ever since we started our lessons. Stronger, more outspoken, hungrier. You take another sip of your champagne as your mouth goes dry. Hungrier, You lower your fork, careful to keep your reactions controlled. Ella's hunger is nothing compared to your own. That you know of. Just saying you don't know. Then I think we need to send you back to the office with a little confidence boost, don't you? Confidence boost right now? With the waitress and the kitchen staff. Then you'd best be discreet. Or use your safe word. You pause, giving her a moment to stop things before they begin. She just waits for you to make your move. Oh boy. I guess it begins, huh? I feel like the sneak the hand under the table is just so norm. You sit back in your chair, your dominant side coming out in full force, and you're ready to play. Give me your panties. I can't do that. I can see the waitress hovering in the kitchen, waiting to bring us the next course. You'd better hurry. Ella's eyes widen as she sneaks a glance over her shoulder. I'm not a patient man, Ella. Do it now. She snakes a hand under the table and scoots lower in her chair. You keep breathing steady. She wriggles back and forth. I can't believe you're making me do this. That's the fun of it. I want you to sit there knowing that there's nothing between you and me. I want you to get wet until you can't sit still. A low monoscale sets your heart racing, especially when she slides her panties down her legs and unhooks them from her feet. Oh boy. What now? Hand them to me. They're mine now. Her fingers graze yours as she passes you her under the table. Tuck them away. Good girl. The waitress approaches as you slip them casually into your pocket. Here you go. Excellent timing. My date was just telling me how hungry she is. She gasps in mingled outrage and desire. The waitress nods and leaves. You lean back in your seat as you taste the food. Well, Ella, feeling confident, yeah? I'm feeling something, that's for sure. You lift your fork to her lips. She obligingly accepts the mouthful, pouting as she chews. You like it? You know I do. It's true. You do know how much she's loving us. How much more you can push. I think we can do better. I don't want you to disappoint your boss when you get back to work. There's more? I'm in the mood for something sweet, but I forgot to order dessert. You mean... Let me taste you. Okay, then. She casts another furtive glance over her shoulder. But with all the staff in the kitchen, there's just the two of you in the dining room. Yes, sir. Basically, had to, yeah. Yeah. Involved fingers, we'll go with that. You're capable of a lot more than you give yourselves credit for, Ella. I've known that from the start. Excuse me, I'll just get those plates out of your way. Can I get you any tea or coffee to complete your meal? Coffee, please. You lift an inquiring brow at Ella, but she shakes her head. I wish I could, but I need to get back to the office. Thank you for an unforgettable meal, Levy. You lick your lips with slow deliberation. The pleasure was all mine. After lunch, you have a packed schedule, starting with a preliminary settlement meeting with Pat Rancick's team of lawyers. You enter the conference room prepared to face a table of overpaid, overdressed lawyers, only to find... Ah, look who's 5 minutes late. I hope you don't plan to charge my wife for that. Oh... Ex-wife. The arrangement between Miss Rancick and me is none of your concern. We'll see about that. Where's the rest of your team? I fired them. A bunch of fools. A lot of them. I represent myself. It's just divorce, not real law. How hard can it be? You'd be surprised how complicated things are when emotions are involved. Yeah, emotions? Yeah, right. Since when does the infamous Levy Thorne deal in those? Stipple your fingers in a move designed to irritate Pat. He tries to hold your gaze, but the sub in him can't help but look away. Very well, if you're such an expert on divorce law now, why don't you get started? I don't care for the position my team was taking in the negotiations. I also don't care for your positions, but we'll talk about that another day. He glances up at you as a malicious glint in his eyes. What Ella ever saw in this a-hole was beyond you. The first thing you need to do is realize Ella is a liar. She always has been, so don't believe anything she tells you. Pat, what does that have to do with this meeting? This isn't a criminal trial. Miss Ransac's integrity isn't in question. What integrity? She's a timid, conniving little mouse. She's always been. You struggle to retain your calm. It's obvious he's trying to goad you, but you aren't sure why. You might be new to divorce law, but this isn't the purpose of this meeting. We're here to begin negotiations on the fair divisions of the assets. Why do you know about Ella's assets? Or whatever. The double entendres are starting to seriously irritate you. If you have something to say, come out and say it. I can't abide attorneys who are always tiptoeing around the truth. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm here to discuss income furnishings, the new penthouse apartment with a view. You know very well that Miss Ransack has no income until after the separation. And you sit up, Pat's words sinking in. How does Pat know about the penthouse? Ella didn't move there until she lived in a hotel for a couple of weeks. I need time to figure out what's going on. You stand and walk towards the door. Since you don't seem prepared to negotiate today, my assistant will be in touch. Until then, see if you can come up with something concrete to bring to the proceedings, will you? You might have all day to sit around doing nothing, but I have actual work to do. You hold the door for him, giving him no choice but to leave. Once you're sure he's gone, you call Anderson into the room. Get the jet ready, we're leaving town tonight. Where are we going? Anywhere that's not here. Until I figure out what Pat's up to, I'm getting Ella as far away from him as possible. Ah, so your feelings will increase even more. You arrange to meet Ella outside her office at the end of the day. This isn't how you've chosen to do things. But one thing is clear. Pretending like I'm not interested in Ella won't work. I have to be all in or take myself out of the game. Hey, Levy, sorry if I kept you. Things are a little hectic around here today. I'll usher her straight into the car. You pull open the car door and gesture for her to get inside. What's going on? I thought we were gonna grab dinner or something. You deserve much more than just dinner, and I plan to make sure you get it. She blinks at you, a question in the lift of her brow. I'm not saying I don't like this new Laffy, but are you sure you didn't hit your head on the way over? You take her hand and hold it in yours. You aren't sure why, but your stomach's fluttering like it's the first day of kindergarten. I know we didn't officially talk about this before, but I want to be with you, Ella. As your dom and everything that comes with it. Seriously, for real? Yes. If you'll have me, we'll have to be discreet until your divorce is finalized, but... She cut you off with an enthusiastic kiss. You let yourself indulge for a moment and then pull back. If that's you agreeing, then we need to get another lesson about obedience. Yes, sorry. I just couldn't help myself. You're gonna have to start because we're leaving for Paris in an hour and expect a complete submission on our trip. Just boom, going to Paris. Alright, well, without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description below, links to social media, Discord if you'd like to support me and my content. Without further ado, how do I feel about this book? Actually, it's kind of changed. I know, surprise, surprise. I'm okay with it. It's not great. It's not a 10. It's not a 1. It's still kind of in the middle. I mean, it's increased. Originally, it was just caca, but yeah, no, it's going a little better. It's going a little better. Again, I feel like there's a lot of books. By the way, in case you didn't notice, Surrender is literally getting a book 2. Which is kind of disheartening, and, you know, that is the part that I disagree with, because I believe there's a lot of other books out there that deserve a sequel. Most Wanted being one of them, among other games. But, or books, may I say. But I digress. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's kind of in the middle. I'll say, when I first started this book, it was kind of like a 3 out of 10, because we all know what this book was going to be about, and the whole 9 yards, the story, Pat, everything else. Today's chapter, I'll just go with that. Today's chapter, I'll give it, it's okay. So, you know, it's okay. You know, it's okay. It's not horrible. We've read those horrible books. But it's not great, you know? All right. Thanks for watching. Peace out.